In the late 1960s, a shadow fell over Northern California, a phantom who called himself the Zodiac. He wasn't just a killer, he was a performer, a puppeteer of public terror, and his stage was the entire San Francisco Bay Area. His reign began not with a bang but with a whisper of violence that would soon become a deafening roar. On December 20th, 1968, high school students David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen were parked on a lover's lane in Benicia. It was their first date. A car pulled up beside them, and a man emerged, ending their young lives in a sudden, brutal attack. The police were baffled, with no motive and no leads. It was a tragedy, but at the time, it seemed like an isolated one. That illusion was shattered 7 months later. On the 4th of July 1969, another couple, Darlene Ferrin and Michael McGough, were sitting in their car in a park in Vallejo, just a few miles from the first crime scene. A car approached, its driver blinding them with a flashlight before opening fire. Darlene died, but Michael miraculously survived, providing the first description of the attacker, a heavy-set, short man. The real terror, however, began on August 1st. 3 major newspapers, the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald, each received a letter. The writer claimed responsibility for the attacks and proved it by revealing details only the killer could know. But there was more. Each letter contained 1/3 of a bizarre, 408-symbol cryptogram. The message was clear: publish this cipher, or I will kill again. And at the end of each letter, a chilling signature, a circle with a cross through it, the symbol of the Zodiac. The public was gripped by fear and fascination. A school teacher and his wife, Donald and Betty Harden, cracked the code within days. The message was horrifying. It was a rambling, misspelled confession that said, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest, because man is the most kangaroo animal of all." He claimed he was collecting slaves for the afterlife. The Zodiac wasn't satisfied. He wanted more attention. On September 27, 1969, he changed his method. He approached another couple, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, picnicking at Lake Berryessa. This time, he wore a bizarre, executioner-style hood. He tied them up before stabbing them repeatedly. He then walked to their car and drew his cross-circle symbol on the door, leaving a record of the dates of his attacks. Cecilia died from her injuries, but Brian survived to tell the tale of the hooded man who spoke with a calm, deliberate voice. Just 2 weeks later, the Zodiac struck for the last time with certainty. He hailed a cab in San Francisco, driven by Paul Stine. He had Stine drive to a specific intersection, then shot him in the head. In a brazen act of defiance, he was seen by teenagers across the street wiping down the cab and tearing a piece from Stine's shirt. When police arrived, a miscommunication led them to search for a black suspect instead of a white one, and officers even passed a man matching the correct description without stopping him. The Zodiac later mocked them for this blunder in a letter, which he sent with a bloody piece of Paul Stine's shirt to prove his claim. This was the height of his terror. He continued to send letters, taunting the police and the press. He sent more ciphers, one of which, the 340 cipher, remained unsolved for 51 years until a team of amateur codebreakers cracked it in 2020. The message was just as taunting. "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." Despite a massive investigation and thousands of suspects, including the infamous Arthur Leigh Allen, the Zodiac's identity was never confirmed. He claimed to have killed 37 people, but only 7 were confirmed, with 2 survivors. He simply vanished, leaving behind a legacy of cryptic letters, unsolved ciphers, and a question that haunts us to this day: who was the Zodiac Killer? His story is a chilling reminder that sometimes, the monster isn't a myth. He's a man, and sometimes, he's never caught. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in more deep dives into history's most compelling mysteries, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.